Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray, and we're getting close to Valentine's.
I know, it's almost here.
Who are you, by the
I'm
way?
Peggy Burton. Let's see.
You got your
should
name
wear
tag?
my name tag.
Oh, Lordy. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Are you
Thank
well?
I'm not well, but I'm doing
Doing well.
Yeah.
You know, I say a little bit about Valentine's. It's coming up next a week from today.
A week from today, Tuesday.
But not a week from today, but this Saturday night,
Well,
as we have told our friends and cohorts out there, that the South Jackson Street Band will be at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall for the annual Valentine's Dance.
Dinner dance, and as I've said many times, you can't find better food.
And better music. So if you're looking for something to do with your sweetheart,
Yeah, they're filling up.
surprise your wife, or ladies, surprise your husband. You know, every now and then it's good if the husband says, well, what do you want for Valentine's, or what do you want for this? And she says, oh, I've already taken care of that. We're going to the Valentine's dance. You bought me tickets to the Valentine's dance at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall, and that's
Right.
where we're going.
I love them over there. They're great people.
They are. They are.
And it's a fun time for the band as well as for the audience.
Oh, heavens, yes. And like you say, the food's outstanding. Very, very good place to be.
A lot of ballroom dancers show up. And,
Yeah.
I love to watch the dancing. If I didn't have a crippled foot, I'd be out there myself.
Cripple foot, or is that Cripple Creek? Hey, Super Bowl's this weekend.
Yeah, and the Civic Center is going to show it on the big screen.
Really?
Yeah, I know they're having a play starting Thursday night. I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change.
Uh-huh.
And it's Thursday, Friday, Sunday matinee, and
What about Saturday?
yes, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinee, and then the Super Bowl is Sunday night. When is Super Bowl?
It'll be late Sunday afternoon.
Okay, so when that is over, they're going to be showing it on
They're
the
putting that big screen down.
big screen down.
And
yeah.
when I say big screen, I mean it covers the whole stage.
It does. So anyway, that's
And they're going to have Super Bowl party.
I don't
They're
know.
going to have.
I might not even be supposed to announce in it. Maybe
No, it is.
I don't think it's
You are.
Yeah, I think it's.
No, I mean it's
anybody
going
that
to
wants
be.
to
It's
come.
going to be. They're going to show that, and they're going to have. I think they're going to have food. They're going
Yeah,
to
they're
have.
going to have food and drinks
adult beverages
and
children beverages
beverages
and whatever.
and-
But it's a family event, and they're going to show that big boy on the big screen.
it'll be
Oh,
fun.
it'll be magnificent.
I know. It's a chance, an opportunity.
Sure.
To see it.
And that's just all that stuff going on. South Jackson is taking another step, hasn't it?
Yes, they have. There's something happening all the time.
Yeah, and that's wonderful
It
for our
is.
little town.
Who
are you for?
I can't.
You even know who's
I don't
playing.
even know who's playing. I'm sorry.
The Kansas City Chiefs
All right.
and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't care who wins.
You don't care.
No, just as long as it's a good game and everybody's happy.
It'll be a good ball game.
I'm sure it will.
It'll be a good
yeah.
ball game. So, but they started.
But who are you betting on?
They started. I'm not betting on. I learned a long time ago. I don't have enough money to bet. I've never had enough money to bet.
A lot of people, very few people do, I guess.
I worked too much for what little I got
to turn around and throw it
hand
away.
it to somebody else. Not gonna do it.
I love watching the commercials.
Yeah, the commercials.
They're always
that's
fun.
a big part of
and
it.
I do watch the game a little bit. I'll turn it on and I'll watch a little. I don't know. I'm just not a huge sports fan, although my family, most people were involved in
it. Yeah.
sports big time.
And well, I tell you what, you have to be pretty agile to be on stage for years and years and years.
True.
Yeah, but there's a lot of. You're an athlete. You're just not in sports.
Well,
Because you have just think about what the dancers have to do.
that's true.
I was watching.
That's a lot of
I was
energy.
watching one of my favorite shows and it has Cher in it. And it's a little crazy movie called Burlesque.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And that show, if you haven't seen that show, you need to watch that show. It has some of the greatest singing and dancing
It really
in
does.
it you've ever seen.
It's amazing.
And then yesterday, I saw The Greatest Showman
I love
with
that.
Hugh Jackman about the circus.
I
Barnum and
love
Bailey
the story
Circus.
in there and the, recognizing any size, shape of individual can do
But the
something special.
choreography,
Oh, it was
I was
wonderful.
watching yesterday and I'm thinking, every move that they make is somebody has put that together
To make it work.
to make that step be there for the next thing to happen.
I know.
It's just an absolutely wonderful show.
It's a wonderful show. Did you watch the Grammys?
No, I didn't.
Well, there's a.
I was at home cooking chicken.
Oh, okay.
We don't have television. at home.
Beyonce, I think, is now holding the most Grammys of anybody, and she's still young. She could get more, obviously.
Willie Nelson won 2.
Willie Nelson, I was proud to see that.
Bonnie Raitt won
What-
1,
Bonnie
who's one of my
Raitt, yeah.
favorite people.
She's a great artist.
And then 2 guys that are just incredible that I haven't heard from in years. One, and that's Taj Mahal and Ry Cooder. Did an album together.
Yeah.
And Ry Cooder is the one who, I think he's the one who played all the guitar in The Devil, That Devil Goes Down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Huh?
Crossroads movie.
Crossroads, yeah, Crossroads. The Crossroads. I mean, these 2 guys and Taj Mahal, gonna buy you a Chevrolet,
Yeah.
gonna buy you a Chevrolet, gonna buy you a Chevrolet, just to do something for you.
No.
I mean, outstanding. It's just crazy what all happened
Yeah.
and who won stuff.
I felt like it was more entertaining than it has, there was a lot of entertainment in the show itself. Grammys.
Yeah. Was it fireworks?
I don't know. If they were, I missed them.
Usually they have clowns flipping up in the air and everything, but I heard it. I saw who all won, and it was must have been a good show.
A lot. I didn't watch every minute of it, but it was a good show, and a lot to be proud of.
And then Saturday night, we had our induction into the Sports Hall of Fame.
That was an
Tullahoma
exciting.
Sports Hall of Fame, which was a very nice event, and hopefully we'll have some film throughout the week on that.
Good.
Okay.
I'd love to see that.
So what we're going to do right now, because we just probably have people waiting to talk to you instead of us, we're going to take this quick commercial break, and we'll be back.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man. goes a long, long way. Growing and growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and this is something I enjoy doing, is getting our governmental employees over here, the folks that our tax dollars pay to help keep you safe and sound, and that is our police chief here, Chief Jason Williams, and he's here with Police Pointers, and we're just going to have a little discussion about what's going on, how we made it through the cold spell. It's Valentine's coming up, school systems doing what they do. How's everything going in your department?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on
Oh,
the
you're
show.
always welcome.
It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Well, thank you.
The things have been busy. Fortunately, nothing too crazy or too nothing that's eaten up just a significant amount of our resources has been going on.
Right.
So that's always a good thing. Recently, it's funny you bring up the school systems. Recently, we just partnered with the school systems as well as the Coffee County Sheriff's Office and Manchester Police Department to start a new program in the schools called Handle with Care. And the Handle with Care program, what it allows us to do is say, our officers have a situation that they deal with, and there's a child involved in the home that is a school-age child that's going to school somewhere locally. We now, through a partnership with the state of Tennessee and the TBI, have the capability to fill out an online form saying, hey, we had some type of interaction with this family last night, and this child was present when this occurred. And it's not detailed. It doesn't let the schools know exactly what happened or what occurred, just that there was some type of law enforcement action that occurred. Then that information is set up through the website that's forwarded to the school system and to that school's principal, who then can forward the information to that child's teacher. So if the child has a rough day at school, let's say they're nodding off in class or maybe they're even acting out or whatever, it at least gives the people in the school and the teachers the capability of having some perspective, like, hey, we might want to handle this child with care right now because they had a pretty rough evening last night just because of what was going on. So we're very excited to have that partnership going and have that program going in the school system now. So
Okay, that brings about a question.
Yes, sir.
Which is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Does the age of the child affect whether this happens or not?
No. Oh, you mean you talking about of a school age
of
child?
a school-age child? Is it more focused toward younger children
No.
or any child? Because and in my mind, even if you're a junior or a senior in high school, that type of event can have an effect on that kid. Maybe not as much, or maybe in a different way.
Right.
So it would be sent no matter the age. I mean, automatically when we're talking about that, I'm thinking grammar school kids.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. It as long as it's a child that's in one of the Tullahoma school system, irregardless of age,
Right.
or whatever grade they're in. Yes, sir. It would. If we have any type of involvement, it would trigger that notification. So, yes, sir.
Of course, I guess probably in junior high and early high school, that's probably when they're most volatile anyway.
Probably.
Children are.
Yes, probably during whatever the developmental years are for the children as they're trying to figure things out, kind of heading towards adulthood, but not there yet.
When they know
but
more
just-
than we do.
Right, oh, absolutely.
8th, 9th,
So-
freshman.
Yes, sir. I've got 3 children myself. So
You understand
yes,
that,
sir.
don't
I can
you?
relate. Yes, sir. But this is something we felt was a great program to get involved with for our communities. Like I said, it's something we partnered with the Sheriff's Office and Manchester Police Department and our school systems with, and they've been very supportive of us getting this initiative going. So I'm very thankful that we were able to get everything
that's a
put
great
together.
thing.
So yes, sir.
The state's stepping up on a lot of stuff. I know that my wife today is Fran with Alzheimer's Tennessee, along with other people in our county, are at the state legislature today. This is their Coffee County on the Hill day, and they're up there, and the state legislature went ahead with the silver alert for Alzheimer's. And just like the Amber Alert, when a child disappears, with a silver alert.
Yes, sir.
And I think they've only not recovered 1 or 2 people out of 100, 150 that have turned up missing, which is a wonderful thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
So
sir.
I'll say the state, we're fortunate right now that the state's buying into things like that, and the same thing as this right here. They need to give us a little help on that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely. They through funding, through grant funding, and the state initiative through the TBI and some of the other programs out there. This is a program they've been able to offer. I think, for the most part, I think statewide it has garnered a lot of support and a lot of good attention to it. Because, anything, it's always the little things, right?
Sure.
Anything that we can do to give our children an advantage on something, especially when a lot of the legwork's already been done and this has already been set in place. Why wouldn't you, get involved
Sure.
and adopt this program and get it up and going within the agency? Because it really doesn't take any longer for our guys or gals to fill this out. It's an online questionnaire, and it's basically just a handful of questions. Child's name, if you know the school, date and time. We had, law enforcement interaction with, click send. And it sends it to, if it knows the school, it'll go ahead and send it to the school. If we weren't able to find out the school's information, like where the child goes to school, then there's more interaction with the school board itself. Dr. Stevens has it set up so that it notifies a few people there,
Right.
so they can figure out which school that information needs to get to.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
That's great. Keeping it toward kids. I and the people my age are about to age out of our thought process, in that when we went to school, you went to school till maybe the first day of June, and you didn't go back to school till sometime in September. And so there was a distinctive gap right there of when kids were running crazy. on the streets and going to the swim. Because at that point there was one swimming pool, and well, there's only one swimming area now, and one ball field, and so kids were moving all over town to get to the places where they had, and so now, and I say aging out because we've had pretty much what they call year-round school.
Yeah, there's still a summer break.
But it's not.
Right, they
it's
have more breaks
month.
kind of throughout the year versus.
And that's what I was going to say. We used to talk about latchkey kids, and of course the latchkey kids are during school time too. But basically in the summertime, that was we need to watch out during this time period because kids are going to be more active during the day than they are during school, of course. And now that the way they've got it sectioned up, we need to be paying a little more attention because it doesn't happen all at one time.
Right.
There's other times during the year that they're out of school for a week, 2 weeks.
Right.
And, hunting for something to do. The littler ones, now the bigger ones are driving and going wherever they're going to go anyway, but it's the little ones. And I just think it's very important that we as citizens pay attention and into those time frames. And I think that the police department does a good job, but could probably do a little more advertising about, hey, remember kids are out of school now.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a different world, and it you talking about that kind of reminds me of like even our school zones and stuff for people traveling through them because it's like they're out at periods just long enough for people to get conditioned to when the school lights are not on for the school zone to start traveling
then
normally,
they come on
and then they come back on. So yeah, no, absolutely. There's a lot of things out there that we have to contend with, that our schools have to contend with when it comes to keeping our kids safe. And one thing also that comes to mind, just talking about that, and kids having things to do. That's one area I really think like our Parks and Rec has excelled in too, like with a lot of these athletic leagues and basketball and baseball and some of the things that they've got going on to kind of help maybe fill in some of those gaps or keep kids involved in some things going on, so they have other means to get involved in other other things within the community other than just what the school system itself offers.
Right. And I'll tell you what I think is pretty cool. As one of my trips, depending on what day it is usually it'll happen maybe tomorrow morning, either tomorrow morning or Thursday morning. I'll go to Dameron's. I go other times, but I love their tenderloin and biscuit. So I'll go over there and get a tenderloin and biscuit. And there's a police car parked at East Lincoln School right there, SUV. And I look over there and I think, I wonder if there's anybody in there or not. Sometimes there's not.
Yeah.
But sometimes there is. And I think that's pretty cool if you have a vehicle like that. I don't want to give away any secrets, but is somebody driving that's inside the building? Possibly.
Possibly. So, it just to.
But you never know.
You never know. That's it. And that's kind of been one of the strategies we've employed is to, just have some visibility in some areas, and also, there's probably not a day or a week that doesn't go by that our guys and gals aren't in the schools. Everybody is kind of taking it upon themselves to adopt a school, if you will.
Sure.
And so that officer that's adopted whatever school will then go into the school throughout the week at whatever point and just kind of be seen, high five the kids, walk the hallways, and just talk to people and see what's going on. So
now, do we have an SRO in every school?
We do not. The high school is where we have the SRO at. It is something that we are aware of. It's something that we are taking, and I say we, I'm talking about me in this situation. The police department. It's something that we are aware of, and we're taking a look at, maybe how we can address that if that is a want that this community wants, you know, okay, how can we address that in the least impactful way to the community? So we've got some things that we're going to be looking at, maybe
good.
in a you know, kind of multi-year strategy
Right,
about maybe
right,
phasing
right.
some things in, and you know, just see where it goes from there.
Well, you know, I think back to the police car thing, I think that's pretty good. You know, if you're not a criminal, you don't really worry about it. If you are a criminal, it doesn't make any difference whether anybody's in there or not. They don't know whether there is. So they pay attention when they're going through that school zone anyway.
Right.
You know, so I just think it's a good thing. I find it interesting, and just appreciate what you and your department are doing. You know,
Well, thank you.
we see them on the road, and we see them pulling people over for reasons that they need to be pulled over for. And I've noticed that as we're doing that now, used to you might see one car. And if there's one car, it's not long before the second car shows up. And I think that's very smart on your part to have witness to what's going on by more than one person. I know our police departments across the country are being bashed and hammered, and it's always good to have somebody with you to say, no, I didn't do that, and here's the footage. And we need our policemen and girls, police officers, male and female, shall I put it that way, are on the road and in our community to protect us. They deserve the right to protect themselves while they're doing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's through another set of eyes and ears to go, no, that didn't happen. So thanks for the good job you're doing.
Well, thank you. I'm very blessed. I have several great men and women that are passionate about this community and are passionate about police work. And so as long as we have that, I know we're going to be okay.
We're good.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Chief,
sir.
thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Till next time,
Yes,
okay?
sir. All right.
Folks, we'll be back after these messages.
The Duck River Watershed Society wants to invite you to our second annual spring cleanup on Saturday, March 4th at the Fire Lake Public Use and Boat Ramp. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on ensuring the Duck River watershed continues to benefit those who live, work, and recreate on it. We need volunteers to help with cleaning up parts of Normandy Lake down to the winter water drawdown line. Sign up at our website, duckriverwatershedsociety.com, and help do your part.
Hi, my name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong. Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And I am Pat Welch, and John, we're here today for the 55th rendition
55, traveling right along.
I mean, we are.
Songs from the 60s and 70s, 50s even, are the ones that I'm familiar with. And one that George Hamilton IV had out was called Abilene. I sit alone most every night and watch those trains pull out of sight. I wish that they would carry me back to Abilene, my Abilene. Abilene, Abilene, prettiest town I've ever seen. Women there don't treat you mean in Abilene, my Abilene. Crowded city, ain't nothing free, nothing in this town for me. I wish to the Lord I could be in Abilene, my Abilene. Of course, Abilene, Abilene, prettiest town I've ever seen. Women there don't treat you mean in Abilene, my Abilene.
A fine rendition, John.
Women in Tullahoma don't treat you mean either.
No.
Correct?
No. Not if you're as dashing as you and I. That's for sure. Well, we normally use your song as a segue to the body, and sometimes it's a stretch, and today will be a little
just doesn't always work.
Yeah, today will be a little bit of a stretch.
I did have two grandparents who lived at Texas.
All right.
One in Carlsbad, Texas, near San Angelo. He was a doctor and went out there to sanatorium to work, or sanitarium, whichever.
Sanatorium, I think.
Well, anyway, he was out there, and then my granddaddy went out with his daddy and brothers and sisters and they raised cotton out in Texas. So but all of them came back to Tennessee.
That'd been a hot chore.
Yes, it would.
But you know, there's a lot of horses in Texas. And today we're going to talk about a Confederate cavalryman that was close by. At one of our recent segments, when I was in East Tennessee, we went through a segment on a church in Eusebia area, which is East Tennessee, which is between Seymour and Maryville. And there was a cemetery there that the East Tennessee had a lot of Unionists in the and would have fought for the Union in the Civil War. And I found a tombstone of a gentleman that had served with the Union in their cavalry, and we said we would come back and try to balance it out. And while I was at the Builder Supply, we had a job past Flat Creek a little bit in Bedford County. And if you go down towards Lynchburg and turn right on the Flat Creek Highway. About a mile or two on the left is a really old, pretty cemetery that still has got some recent burials in it, but it's also got some really old Moore County people there. And I think the name of it is the Wiseman Cemetery. It's kind of below the grade of the highway and has a metal fence around it. It's really nice. And I had some extra time one day while I was calling on a customer. And so I thought, well,
it's funny how you always manage to have a little extra time.
A little extra time, yeah. Then some people at the office would also have wondered the same thing. but I did visit that cemetery on a run down there, and I don't know why, but I was kind of drawn to the front right section. And as soon as I got there, I noticed that there was a gentleman, Jesse Gordon Moore, from Moore County, who had fought in the Civil War as a cavalryman. And I couldn't find much on my own, so we enlisted a real historian back. This has been, probably 10 years ago maybe, Dr. Bradley.
He knows.
And he went on a visit to the archives in Nashville. He came up with a whole lot of information on him. And there was a regiment from Tennessee, the 16th, that was formed in 1861, and most of that came from soldiers in Coffee, Bedford, and Lincoln. And at that time, in Confederate history, they enlisted for a period of a year. Well, in 1862, when the time was up, several of them stayed but wanted to come in as cavalrymen. And this would have been the time that Jesse Gordon Moore would have volunteered and came with them. And most of those people came from near Flat Creek, where you again turn at the Flat Creek Highway.
Did they want to ride a horse instead of march?
I think it was a little bit safer because they were also making raids.
Okay.
You know, they weren't in the front lines. And I think riding the horse would have sure beaten walking barefoot, which some of them at the end of the war would have been relegated to. But in this little communication that Dr. Bradley sent me, he said the cavalry that they served in, most of these men, served in the 4th Tennessee Cavalry, and it was commanded by Colonel James W. Starnes, a physician who was from near Franklin. Mm-hmm. And Colonel Starnes was killed on June 30th, 1863 in a skirmish which was fought between Tullahoma and Manchester as the Tullahoma campaign was coming to a close.
That's a marker out on the highway.
There's a marker at the Harkle Smith Nursery Road, and that's in the area that Starnes was killed. And Starnes served under Nathan Bedford Forrest. Mm-hmm. In December 1862, the 4th took part in a raid in West Tennessee led by Nathan Bedford Forrest. The next spring, it fought Thompson Stations, Brentwood, and the Tullahoma campaign at Chickamauga in September of '63, and on a raid into Middle Tennessee in October of '63. In 1864, the unit took part in the Atlanta campaign and was in combat for 100 consecutive days. In September that year, the unit again raided into Middle Tennessee, and that was this time that Jesse Gordon Moore was captured. On the raid in 1864, he was captured near Sparta and was sent to Camp Morton in Indiana and remained there to the end of the war in 1865. And his, Phil, if you'll put up his, the top part is his headstone, and the bottom part is on the ground at his feet, and gives a little bit more about his service in the Confederate Army, and it's marked at the bottom he's a prisoner of war. And I'm assuming that once they were freed, and I looked up Camp Morton too, John, the conditions there of all the Civil War, both North and South, wasn't ideal. And when they were released in '65, I doubt they gave him a train ticket back home.
Well, he was born in 1845, and if in 1861 the war began, he was only 16 years old.
Yeah, that's why he was 17 from what I figure in '62 when he would have enlisted. Mm-hmm. So he would have from 17 years old to about 21 when he got a chance to come home, and I would assume he walked back home, and that would have been a tough journey, I would think, from Indiana on foot to Moore County, but he lived to 76 years old. So he's a hardy old guy, and I really thought it was really interesting. But one thing happened that was really peculiar about that. I talked to Dr. Bradley again several months later, and he said he'd been contacted about 3 months after that I had talked to him about Jesse Gordon Moore, and there was some descendants of a Moore who had a ancestor that would have been in the Civil War that was buried about a couple miles up that highway closer to Flat Creek. And they said that his last name was Moore and that he had a twin. And so they asked Dr. Bradley, knowing that he was a good local historian, do you have any idea of who that twin might be or where he was? And he said, well, if you'd asked me 4 months ago, I couldn't tell you. He said, but I can now. And they were looking for Jesse Gordon Moore. That was the gentleman's twin. He had a twin that also fought, and I wish I'd had a chance to get a hold of Dr. Bradley before we came today to see if he had a little bit more information about him, but that was almost kind of eerie.
That was amazing.
To find that out.
And Starnes, Pearl Columbus Haynes, my great-great-grandfather, fought under Starnes. And when Starnes was killed, McLemore took over. McLemore. Starnes McLemore was the unit name after the...
John, you're as good as Dr. Bradley.
That's a little something I picked up along the way. My grandmother told me a whole lot of stuff.
And we're going to have a segment to bait all of our fans. John's ancestor, Columbus Haynes, was shot with a mini ball that started in one of his nostrils.
And we hit him right here.
Yeah, we won't go through the gruesome details until that day, but we'll have that hanging out there. And John, that pretty well brings us to a close on segment 55 of the Conversations with John and Pat.
Maybe they'll let us come back again, Pat.
If management allows, there's more stories to be told. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I have two of the nicest people on the show with me today. Kat Murray, which some of you may know from local things that go on, and Ashley Abraham with United Way. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. United Way of Highway 55.
And I think you all are the recipient of Kat's show, correct?
Yes.
With Michael Jackson.
Exactly. It's his story told by her, number 17.
That was a clever a title, I thought, when I
Thank
first saw
you.
it.
Thank you.
Because I was looking at it the first time, I was going, history. Oh, yeah. That was really cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
And which number is this? Which
Number
year?
17.
17.
Mhm. Yeah.
And every year it gets better and bigger and
bigger and bigger.
And bigger and bigger.
And different. The show's different every time.
And what date is the show this year?
It is March the 11th at 7 o'clock at South Jackson. And the tickets are only at McMurray's because it's not a South Jackson event. And then the other tickets, we have tickets that you can get from the board.
Let's tell them where McMurray's is in case they don't know.
It is at, who doesn't know where McMurray's is? It's at 101 West Ogie Street here in Tullahoma. The tickets are $15 for everyone. I didn't do kids this and that because it's just easy because all of the money is going to them.
to United Way, and that's what a wonderful thing.
So much. And every year they give to a local organization.
Right.
So last year it was Imagination Library of Coffee County.
Yeah.
So, and this year it goes to us, which United Way of Highway 55, we actually distribute to many missions in the community and organizations. So it's not just helping one mission.
It's helping many
and it's
people.
local.
And it's local. Everything stays in the county that we live in.
And it's a fun thing to do.
It is fun. I mean, it's singing in the aisles, and it's not like if you want to go to a concert and sit there and you're not going to happen at this show. You're going to be singing out loud and clapping your hands,
shoes.
bring your gloves, bring your
never know.
socks.
You might be called on stage, maybe, or
Yeah, I wondered. Do you encourage people to dress like Michael Jackson a little bit if they can?
They love to.
I think that makes it fun.
Yeah, we did that the first show.
Maybe it was the first show that I saw. The little tiny boy was up
Marcus,
there.
and he's 22 now.
And he's 22 now. But I'll never forget that little man. He was the cutest thing.
And the exciting thing one of the exciting things this year is that part of the money that we raise, it's supposed to cover the stage, and so that money has been taken on by Vanderbilt Tullahoma Hospital, Hardin Hospital.
How wonderful!
So they're sponsoring the stage this year, and so that means more money
going to United Way, and that's our hospitals do great things for us. There's so many hidden people that sponsor things that I don't know how many. Are you still looking for sponsors?
We're taking ads for the program. They're very inexpensive. I think the smallest one is $35.
Oh, that's a good deal.
And then the full page is $100. And again, all of that money, every single penny of that is going to them.
And so if you're out there and how do they just come by your store?
Yes, you can come by the store or you can call 931-461-0034. That's the shop number.
And if you forget that, you can go online.
You can go online, and we have a Facebook page.
And it'll say McMurray's, right?
Yes, and it'll have some information there.
Okay.
Yeah. So the show is 2 hours of singing and dancing.
And what's your favorite part?
My favorite part is when the kids that start, when they realize that they're on stage and they get a little scared, and then it goes away, and they do that.
And you're not only are you entertaining an audience, but you're building confidence, that's worth
I have
a lot of money right there.
Exactly. Katera, who's no longer singing, she used to sing "Man in the Mirror" with me when she was 3.
Oh gosh!
And I think she is going into the 7th or 8th grade.
Wow. It's a fun thing to watch them grow and mature, and then there's like John Luke who comes back.
Yes, he
all
comes
the way
back
from Murfreesboro to rehearse.
I had 3 graduate last year, class of 2022, and 2 of them are coming. One's in Florida and one's in Alabama, and she's
they're coming back.
Yeah, to do the show.
They've
done it so long they don't need to rehearse.
They just
Love
love being
Last
there.
night they were practicing, and I mean they know what they're doing.
They were all on top of it. Do you teach them that walk?
And that's John Luke's job.
But he can do it, right? He can do it. I think everybody needs to see that. Can they see that?
I can't.
I love it.
It has a little.
Yeah.
It was a Las Vegas toy I picked up, and so every once in a while I accidentally touches it, and it just kind of goes crazy. But it's really cool. I like it.
How old were you when you first heard Michael Jackson?
We are same age, so I was probably 9.
Oh, and you were impressed the first time you saw.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was impressed with the Jackson brothers.
Yes.
I remember them from way back.
Wait a minute, when you asking me how old I am, Peggy?
No.
No, they started in '69, and so I was 9.
That's awesome to follow through and then to support his music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wonderful music.
It really still surprises me.
I think that Michael Jackson was able to come up with a unique sound and a unique moves that nobody had done.
But I also love that my kids and even all the other kids, they're familiar still with the music, and they love it, and they dance and sing along to it, and it's just great to
That's
carry
true.
that on.
That's true. It's just one of those sounds that you don't forget.
Yeah, and it's just a good family, friends night, community event to come down and have, to all come together and support these kids on stage that really that volunteer their time and their efforts, but also to support amazing organizations every year
and keep them off the street, for heaven's sakes. I've always said that it's the arts that kept me off the street, or I'd be living under a bridge.
It's important for kids to have something they enjoy doing.
Exactly.
So.
You said the price was $15. What time does the show start?
It starts at 7, and
I'm
that
assuming
is
there's going to be
Saturday. It's only one
tickets
show.
at the door.
I can only do one show.
Right.
Yes, the tickets are be at the door also, and it still be $15. I'm not going up or down. And it's at South Jackson, and that is Saturday, March the 11th. And a side note, I have 14 family members that are coming to the show.
Your own family?
Yeah, because I haven't seen them in a while.
So you
this
have a
whole COVID
reunion
thing.
all at the same time.
Yeah, that's what my sister said. She's going to make it a mini reunion.
Now, if you're living up on a mountain somewhere out of this county and don't know where South Jackson Civic Center is, it's in Tullahoma, Tennessee. And I would like to say I knew the street number, but it is on Jackson Street, South Jackson Street, so you can't miss it. Big building.
Yes.
But we often forget that we have people out there in our audience that are not just from Tullahoma and Manchester and Winchester. It goes widespread for a week here. So
yeah, well, this is a great show. It's and I'm not saying it just because it's my show, but I just love seeing the kids just grow, and I love seeing them out there just getting a little bit of confidence and just dancing up and down that stage. It's really awesome. And we do everything from I Want You Back all the way to Remember the Time. We got a little thriller in there every once in a while.
And we'll have food at the show too.
So are you selling food, right?
So Buffalo Wild Wings is actually catering food for the event.
Kidding. That's
and
awesome.
You can give proceeds that we'll have a
donations.
So
what a nice thing. We have some wonderful people in this community that give to a lot of different things.
I love it.
Well, if we have any last minute things, throw it out there.
No, we just want people to come to the show.
March 11th
at Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson
tribute
fundraiser.
Do you call it Michael Jackson tribute?
His story told by her.
Oh, that's
a tribute
right.
to
What's
Michael
wrong with
Jackson.
me? Okay, so don't forget. Well, Ashley and Kat, thank you for coming, and
thank you
for what you do.
Thank you guys for everything y'all do.
Thank you for being giving people. I know you do it from your heart. We'll be back with other stuff.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up. So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe,
much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend we had the induction into the Tullahoma Sports Hall of Fame. And one of the segments, we have several segments we'll be showing you on the news and on our other on programming. But because of the last year's event with the mayor and falling out, and that event was pretty much canceled, there's some folks that were supposedly going to be recognized then that were recognized this year. And so we'll bring you that right now.
Welcome to the 2023 Tullahoma Sports Council Hall of Fame induction ceremony and awards banquet. I want to welcome, for opening remarks, the mayor of Tullahoma, Mr. Ray Noes.
Congratulations tonight to all the honorees. You've had a major role in making Tullahoma a sports-minded community. But now, as our MC alluded, I want to take a personal note tonight, and I'm especially thankful for the opportunity just to be here tonight. Those of you who are here tonight who attended last year's banquet understand that why this would be a special night for me. So to each of the healthcare professionals who came to my aid last year, I just want to say that Ann and I are truly, truly thankful for saving my life. How else could I say it? Thank you. Thank you for the honor. Just thank you for the honor of being your mayor. Thank you and have a great evening.
Interim Parks and Recreation Director Lyle Russell.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you, Mayor Noes. I appreciate that. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to D.W. Wilson Community Center. It's strange to see this room from this point of view because I usually see it from the kitchen since 2019, so it's nice to be up here on the stage and actually see everybody's faces and get to enjoy this event along with you. It's hard to believe that this room here is a basketball gym 363 other days out of the year, but for the last 2 days, it has become the stage that you see now, and it's absolutely incredible. And many of you probably grew up in this gym or at least spent part of your childhoods in here playing, pickup basketball on the weekends with your friends, or church league ball, or volleyball tournaments, dodgeball tournaments, fitness classes. You've been in this gym at some point. And every time I run into somebody in town and they say, "Oh, you work at D.W. Wilson? Oh, well, I have a story about that gym." So it seems like everyone in this town has a story about this gym. And I think that's one of the neatest things about being up here tonight, is to be able to add to the stories that this gym is going to be able to tell going into the future, honoring our inductees. So the Tullahoma Parks Department has enjoyed a tremendous working relationship with the Tullahoma Sports Council since its inception. We've helped each other, we've co-ran events together, starting all the way back in 2017 when it was formed, and we have worked really, really well together. And I think this event is a testament to that, to how well we've worked together, because without the Sports Council and the Rec Department working together, we wouldn't be here to enjoy the Hall of Fame banquet. So that alone is a tremendous thing. 2 projects that we're working on right now I'd like to tell you about that we are particularly proud of. This year we decided in the Rec Department to take on the mantle of starting up a new Tullahoma Girls Softball League. And many of you have worked on boards or have been coaches or volunteers for any one of our sports leagues out there. And you probably know how hard it is to start something from near scratch. And when we brought up what we were trying to do, the Sports Council got with us and said, "Well, hey, what can we do to help? What do you need?" And so I'm very proud to let you know that the Sports Council has agreed to purchase over $7,000 worth of girls softball equipment to ensure that every girl who wants to sign up and play has the gear, and there's no reason that they can't. So we're very grateful for that. Thank you. That's enough gear to outfit 16 teams. So that we've got gear now that will last us well into the future of that program. We're very excited about that. One of the other projects that we're working on right now that we're also very excited about is one of our goals that aligns with the sports councils is to bring more tournament play to Tullahoma. And we have our softball fields that we have not been able to utilize for much else other than softball, and we've negotiated with them about this too. And they have also agreed to purchase 2 portable pitcher's mounds that will allow us to convert those fields to meet other field requirements and appeal to some of those tournament organizers. So we are very grateful for that too. However, our relationship is not always about money. The Tullahoma Sports Council, along with several local businesses, just this past fall, helped us put on an amazing event called Tullahoma Wildcat and Friends, or Wildcats and Friends, where we had on a very, very cold November Saturday, over 120 baseball youth. These were young kids, some of them as young as 6 or 7 years old, came out in 30-degree temperatures to learn tips, tricks, drills from 9 former and current Major League Baseball players. And Tullahoma was the envy of the athletic recreation department world for being able to put together an event like that. And we couldn't have done it without the Sports Council, as well as several other local folks helped to do that. A couple of those players are here with us tonight, so we still get a lot of comments about that event. It was a neat thing to see what the power of a very good community partnership can do. So finally, what will the rest of 2023 and beyond look like for us? Well, the Rec Department and the Sports Council are looking at some future opportunities for a grant possibly that we can co-write this fall that would bring much needed improvements and great things to our parks already that are sports related. And the nice thing about that is that when we start to do those things, it starts to build that legacy. And I think Tullahoma already has a tremendous legacy, both on and off the athletic field, for the things that we can do here. So on behalf of Tullahoma Parks and Recreation and for the Sports Council, which I'm sure you'll hear from later, I would like to congratulate our 2023 nominees, also our 2022 nominees for the Hall of Fame that are here with us this year. And there's a lot of local sports history in this room tonight. So I hope that you're going to enjoy the show that's set before you, and I'm glad that I am out here on this side of the room this time to see it. So have a wonderful evening, everybody, and thank you.
First, we would like to welcome Mike and Dirk Cooper, who will speak on behalf of their father, W.C. Dub Cooper.
I'm Mike, this is Dirk. I'm 6 minutes younger, so therefore he gets the opportunity to speak to you, the elder. John Olive, you know what a fumble is? I'm getting ready to do one. So, Dad was real fond of Tullahoma, and the support of the town is what made it happen. And I think anybody that does sports in Tullahoma over a coach will tell you it's the town that pulls in. I remember sitting on the square selling football tickets. I mean, that was a big deal. So I think the first thing he would do is he would compliment the town for supporting him, his football teams, basketball, and his being a principal. He loved his boys and his girls that played for him. I thought they were perfect people because I never heard a bad thing ever said about any of his players. He always used them for anything that had been done at the house. It was not call somebody to come fix something. It was to call one of the boys or one of the girls. And that's how he was. He just loved them. For his players and teachers, I'm going to tell you something that he probably never told you. And it's kind of a secret. But he's gone now, so I'm not going to get in trouble. When he was in high school, he was all South Conference, United States. And the team got together, and they used to in their high school, this is in Knoxville, they could graduate in the normal time like everybody else does, or you could graduate in the winter, in December. Well, his team was very highly ranked, very good team, and the football players all got together. Now, I don't suggest anybody do this, if there's anybody young out there, but they all got together and decided they're going to flunk their senior year. And if they could flunk, they could play one more year of football. So he said he decided he was going to flunk English. That's what he was going to do. And there was a group of them. I mean, I'm talking about 10 or 12 good players. Well, when he got his report card, they gave him a D. And he got mad. So he had to go to the teacher and beg that teacher for an F. And he got the F, and he got to play one more year in high school. So I know he wouldn't tell anybody that because as a principal and a teacher, that's not really what you want everybody to know. But he did do that. In conclusion, I'd just like to say he was very proud of his players, his teachers, and I think he'd be very proud to see what's going on here because this is really amazing. Thank you.
Our next inductee from 2022 is going to say a few words. Great wrestler, Mr. John Welch.
I think there's three things that any athlete needs in order to be successful. And the first is to have some amount of athleticism and natural ability. The second would be to be willing to put in the work and to improve and have the discipline to improve themselves in a specific area. And the third, which I think I might argue is the most important, is to have a community of encouragement surrounding that athlete. And I think about when I was my youth and my athletic career, and it's hard for me to express just how lucky I was to have grown up in Tullahoma and to have the resources and the facilities and just the support of this community, throughout my time in sports. And I had such tremendous encouragement from my family. I had so many great coaches. Two of my three high school coaches are actually being inducted tonight. Coach Winningham from track, Coach Mathis from cross country, and the third coach, Jeff Lester, who's in, I think, his 27th year coaching wrestling here. Couldn't make it tonight. They're at the state dual tournament, currently wrestling for 5th place, I think. And I had so many teammates and mentors and friends. There's no way I could mention everyone tonight. And I know not all the inductees from last year could make it tonight, and I can't speak for all of them, but I did just want to take a second to acknowledge that 1965 basketball team. And I think about, whatever moderate accomplishments I had in running and in wrestling, and it seems pretty small when you think about the kind of progress and societal changes that team helped to bring forward. So I did just want to, call them out and recognize them. And I'll close by saying I think it's great what the Sports Council is doing to recognize all the athletes and sporting figures being acknowledged, being honored tonight. And it's amazing to see so many athletes from different sports, from different generations, and from different backgrounds. And hopefully this can be a motivation for our future generations of Tullahoma athletes. So thank you all.
Our third 2022 inductee who will say a few words is Tullahoma High School baseball coach Jerry Mathis.
First of all, I'd like to recognize and tell those of 2023 you are to be congratulated. Proud of you. But let me tell you something. People ask me many times, said, Jerry Mathis, how in the world did you get to be the baseball coach at Tullahoma? You're a Franklin County boy. I found that out real quick when I was coaching Tullahoma, my first trip to Franklin County. We got off the bus, and all those fans up there were calling me traitor and everything else you could think about. But that's okay, because they had trouble beating us. I remember when I came to Tullahoma, I stopped first in Manchester They offered me the job at Manchester. I came then to Tullahoma. He offered me the job, and I said, I think I'll stay in Tullahoma. Just a more attractive job than the one in Manchester. So I took the job, and I went to Jack Jolly, who was the baseball coach, and I said, Jack, I'd like to help you in baseball if you don't mind. He said, well, Jerry, you understand there's not an assistant coach supplement for baseball in Tullahoma. I said, that's okay. I'll do it for nothing. So I did. I went to Mr. McClure when Jack Jolly got ready to give up his reins as baseball coach. I went to Mr. McClure, who then was the principal, Creed McClure. And I said, Creed, I would like to be your baseball coach. And he said, well, we use the baseball supplement to hire football coaches. I said, well, that doesn't surprise me. But anyway, I said, well, so what you're telling me is if you hire a baseball coach, it has to be a football. Well, that's the way it is now. I said, well, I just want you to know that I would like to have the job. He said, okay. 2 days later, he came back and he said, Jerry, I went and talked to Mr. Garrison, who then was the superintendent of schools. He said, Mr. Garrison said, give it to you. Said, we don't have an assistant football coach who wants it. I said, okay, I'll take it. And I said, now, Mr. McClure, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to stick my foot right in my mouth, bigger than you know. And I found out later I did. And I said, Mr. McClure, I tell you what I'll do. I said, you give me this job. In 3 years, if we do not win, I'll give it back to you. He said, well, you won't have to do that, but okay. First year, we were district champions. Second year, we were district runner-up. Third year, we were state runner-up. Fourth year, we were state champions. People will say, yeah, you know, and John will run into this quite a bit, you've got great coaches. Let me tell you what you have to have. You have to have great athletes. I've had the other as well, great athletes, great coaches. They go together. If you've got the athletes to work with, like at this 90 team, it's going to be recognized now, they were phenomenal. But they're easy to work with, easy for me to handle. And so that's how I got the job at Tullahoma. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, thank you.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM.
Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and it's time for fun time with Jackie. Hysterically historical Jackie Duncan.
Amen, brother. Yes, sir.
It's always good to see you, Jackie.
It's always good to.
You've always got a story.
It's always good to be seen on this side of the ground. I tell everybody every day.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, thank the Lord. It's good to be here.
Now, what about the first Grammy ever for the Tennessee State University
Band?
Band?
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I got to go out and explore that a little bit more because I know there's some more information out. I got a message from LinkedIn telling about something before the Grammy, and so I need to go out and read.
Yeah, they won it.
They did.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's good. And I've been associated with them for a long time. And actually, my first year at college, I think I went to. This was quite some time ago. Went to TSU, and anyway, years passed on by quite a bit. So anyway, I've been a part of the TSU alumni local chapter here for a long time. So and I was vice president for as long as I could remember, and I finally shared that job. Thank the Lord, vice president of our local chapter, at TSU National Alumni Association, and I submit articles. I was submitting not monthly, but quarterly articles to the magazine, to the World Magazine.
Wonderful.
So I was blessed to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and anyway.
International Jackie.
Oh, I try to help out wherever I can.
You've been in a lot of places, Jackie.
I have. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've been blessed. That's all I can say. I got my WJAB shirt on today and cap. I've helped them out. This Alabama A&M, and I don't discriminate against universities. Though I'm affiliated with TSU, in a bigger way. I've been affiliated with Tennessee Tech. My fiance was a psychology professor there until she passed. She's been quite a few years ago. But I used to spend a lot of time at Tennessee Tech, TSU, and Alabama A&M. I've been supporting them for over the last 20 years, and just helping them out. They've got a radio station down there. That's it right there, WJB. There it is. Get the cap on right. Represent them well. But they have a jazz and blues radio station. Beautiful campus there. And I think it's so one of the DJs used to always say, on the beautiful campus. He always really stressed that, and it is a beautiful campus. As you come into Huntsville, look to your left over there, and there it is. So it's, but I've gone down and helped them since I retired. I've been retired some time now. I've been helping Alabama A&M for over 20 years, go down and at the radio station and would help them raise money every year or so. And it slowed down and actually came to a halt when COVID brought everything.
A lot of things came to a halt.
You're right. A lot of good things that were going on.
I know.
And hopefully they will get back going now, but very soon. But I wanted to say something today about pick up on WJIG radio station from the last time, and we talked about that. And I was talking when my dad was he took on the job, his little side job he had cleaning up there when I was a kid, and I'd go with him and help him, and sometimes, and some, maybe my brother would or my sister would rather, and so anyway, but we after that, fast forward about 15 years or 20 years, and they decided they wanted to change their music format. All these other genres, music genres were coming in and happening, and they said it's time to change something, So they hired me as a disc jockey, and I was the first black disc jockey in Southern Middle Tennessee.
That's
as a result
exciting.
of Ben's Jordan hiring me, and this is that's been a long time ago. But Ben's, I think, probably didn't really realize who I was. I'd been coming to the station for years, even before that, with my dad, and because we both were real small and young at that time.
Let me ask a question right quick. When you were doing that and your dad was cleaning, you were young.
No, Dad wasn't
Jordan
cleaning up
didn't own it at that point, did he?
Daddy wasn't cleaning it when I went to be a disc jockey.
No, but
Jordan,
I mean back in the day when you were helping him clean.
Yeah, Jordan was.
Was Mr. Jordan
Yeah,
owned it then?
Edwin Jordan.
Yeah, Ed Jordan. But he wasn't the original owner of it.
I don't know who the original owner was.
Okay.
No, I don't know that. I just know that's this segment of
Right,
time.
okay.
Yeah, so anyway,
now let's fast forward.
Yeah, now we fast forward. Fast forward to 20 years from then, and then Ben's was looking for somebody to bring in a disc jockey, and somebody mentioned my name, and he hired me.
He hired you on the spot.
Sure did. So I think I was running managing a restaurant, local. We decided a nightclub at the time. So anyway, I've been in a lot of things. Oh, I've been in.
Yeah,
it's a
you've
lot of
done it
things.
all.
Yeah. So anyway,
I used to sell him clothes. I used to keep him looking good.
That's right. And so anyway, I did that for a while. Then they decided they went from 250 watts to an FM stereo, 100,000 watts FM stereo. Gotcha. And so anyway, I've got and we'll do this some other time, but I got a fantastic poem how the little station that 93.3, the station that thought she could.
Yeah.
And we'll do that some other time, but it's because
we don't know what happened to that. Do we know where the station went?
Don't know anything about it. I'm concerned about the history being lost.
Because there's just nothing out there.
There's
now.
nothing there right now. And the tower has been gone for years, and the station went to Huntsville, Alabama. And I got the thing in a nutmeg right here. I wrote a poem about it for the station that is in Huntsville. Actually, they combined with a station out of Gurley, Alabama at one time after it was sold, and the signal went to Huntsville. And I wrote a poem about the whole thing. And I got it in here, but it's just, I don't have time to do it today. But bottom line is that the station was really jamming there for a while. You could pick it up in New York there for a while.
You're kidding.
There were, I said New York, but I'm just being facetious.
Okay.
But there were two stations that were combined their signal, and you could pick them all up, the whole east.
And that's when Jerry Newton owned it, right?
Well, actually, Jerry Newton, I think he sold it to somebody in Huntsville then.
Right.
I don't know. And like I said, it's hard keeping up with the history.
There you go. You got it, though. We'll pick it up next time.
All right.
All right? We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back, and there you go. You want to apologize about something.
I just want to say that the lady that was going to come on the show with the baby kangaroo, she had emergency this morning and couldn't make it. Maybe she'll come another day.
She couldn't get it out of the pouch.
No, it was the cutest thing. I wanted him on the show.
Well,
but
we'll have that kangaroo here.
Maybe they can come another time.
Remember, all this red right here and all these hearts are for Valentine's. If you hadn't made your reservations, it's this weekend, this Saturday night at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall. It's the Valentine's Dance featuring Peggy Burton and the South Jackson Street Band.
Well, it's not just featuring me.
And it's always fun. The food's always great, and the dancing's good. And if you girls want to go, don't wait and let him tell you where you're going. You buy tickets, tell him where he's going. That works for me.
That works at your house?
That works at, well, it got to work at my house.
I guess it works at a lot of houses.
Yeah.
A lot of houses.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to go? You with the one you love best.
Should be. In a
Everybody
way.
loves to eat.
Right.
And everybody loves good music and slow dancing, that close up stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody loves that.
Everybody needs to dance.
Just go ahead and drive down there and get some right now.
There you go.
Or call, or email, or whatever you need to do. But we expect to see you at the Valentine's Dance at the Bell Buckle Banquet Hall. You won't regret it.
And don't forget, this weekend at South Jackson Civic Center, I love you, you're perfect, now change.
And then they'll change the stage to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So that will be perfect at South Jackson. Folks, thanks for being with us.
And happy Valentine's.
And happy Valentine's. Well, we've got a Valentine's show on Valentine's Day.
We'll be back, I forgot.
So we'll find out what you like in red. Thanks, folks. Be safe out there. See you next time.